You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you tuned into the Pelican Postgame Report, the PRO Media Network. I'd like to welcome you all aboard for joining us on the Pelican Postgame Report, episode 331, recapping Pelicans lost to the Utah Jazz at home. Now, 114-104, the Pelicans just couldn't get over that hump against a very tough Utah team led by Favors and Gobert. Utah didn't give the Pelicans any favors as Gobert added 22 points, 13 rebounds as the Pelicans once again tried to defend length with smallish players. Now, Julius Randle 6'9". Gobert 7'2" or 7'3", something like that. If you're gonna defend a big guy, you need a 7-footer. Length defends length. Of course, Elvin Gentry, I don't understand why you can't learn that theory. You have two 7-footers on your team, Anthony Davis, who played 21 minutes in the game, and of course, the other player whose minutes continues to dwindle after the All-Star break. What is up with that? I don't get that. Okafor, 5 minutes in the game, only 3 points. Two 7-footers on the team. You have one of the biggest centers in the league, and you do not employ your length when you're supposed to. Anyway, it's I don't know, man. It's absolutely crazy to me why they can't think of this stuff. It's not very hard. But anyway, we'll recap the game today. Also, news dealing with Jrue Holiday, plus the loss. It's the fact that the Pelicans lose out on Jrue Holiday. We're going to cover that in today's episode. So before we get into any of those stories, I'd like to thank you guys for joining us here on the Pelican Postgame Report. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more content, share, like, whatever you got to do. Thanks for joining us here today. And this is strictly for basketball, NBA basketball fans, college basketball fans, and anybody who like basketball, period. Especially Pelican fans. This show is for you. Now, getting into the main news of the day, we know about the loss to the Utah Jazz, but a greater loss inside of the loss is the fact that the Pelicans will lose out on Holiday. Jrue Holiday is out with an abdominal strain. And, of course, there's no time frame on how long this is supposed to take. But according to the Associated Press, it's saying that he's been diagnosed with a lower abdominal strain that is expected to sideline him for at least a week. At least a week. Now, what does that mean in terms of the Pelicans? They have a series of games coming up, a really big game against the Toronto Raptors Friday night. And Jrue Holiday is not going to be there. They have some really good basketball games coming up. Of course, the Pelicans stand currently not so bad. A 30-37 record. The 18-13 at home, despite the loss. And a lot of people, I see a lot of the reports on Instagram, little comments about Pelicans need to tank out and help other teams beat them so they can have a better chance at the draft. They have a first-round draft pick. And, of course, a lot of people expecting the Boston package, the Pelicans to take, so that that'll give them some draft capital to be able to build the team through the draft, as well as pick up key pieces to improve the team. I hear you. And I don't think that's a bad deal to think about. But you're not that far off. Like, if you look at the playoff race of the Pelicans, if they can get serious and win some games here, they can probably get in that mixture. But looking at how the fact the coach is not talking playoffs, the new general manager, who's really the interim general manager, did not even approach or encroach upon the topic of playoffs. Playoffs? Like the guys like Jim Moore from back in the day. He's not going to even touch that. But anyway, more on Jrue Holiday. You know, Jrue is the second leading scorer in the season with 21.2. to go with 7.5 assists a game, 5 rebounds, almost 2 steals a game in 67 games. He's been absolutely awesome. He's a Pelicans top perimeter defender. He does it all. And, of course, it's been the combination of Holiday and Julius Randle who's really been helping the Pelicans, despite the fact that Anthony Davidson basically became a high-paid reserve. You know, not even really interested in doing anything. But anyway, Ian Clark, E'Twaun Moore are some of the other people that's expected to get more burn with Jrue Holiday out. No doubt about it. E'Twaun Moore is going to start at the off-guard position in place of Jrue Holiday. Ian Clark is definitely going to have some minutes increased to offset the loss. Hopefully, we'll see this Italian kid, Bertans, play sometimes, although Elvin Gentry did say it'll take about a week for him to join us. We don't know where that time frame will be, whether it be for this game. I doubt it. But that's the news of the day, people. For the Pelicans, is Jrue Holiday is out for at least a week. If the Pelicans had any playoff aspirations, you know, you got to say they were dashed or severely damaged when you lose a player that's playing at the level of Jrue Holiday, who's basically the leader of the team. Anyway, let's go into the next topic. We're going to talk about the Pelicans' loss to the Utah Jazz, 104-114. Pelicans in this one, man, what can I tell you? They were competitive once again, but it's just the fact that they just stink when it comes down to defensively. You know, it's disconcerting that they're that terribly inconsistent on the defensive end. 52% from the field for the Jazz. It's hard to beat a team when they're shooting above 50% from the field. 46 for the Pelicans. 8 of 30 from downtown for the Jazz, for about 27%. Pelicans were 9 of 24 for 37%. 13 of 20 from the free throw line. 13 of 20 from the free throw line. 13 of 20 missing 7 free throws. Of course, you know what my take is on the free throw thing. You know, when you get these close games, they lose by 10 points and you leave 7 field points at the free throw line. This team is just not good in terms of the fundamentals of basketball. They're out rebounded by 5, which isn't so bad. But the assist game, which is supposed to be the Pelicans game, they're supposed to be a fast-paced team playing a half-court team. The assist battle, 31-17 in favor of the Utah Jazz. Absolutely insane. And, of course, the Pelicans do what they do best. They turn the ball 18 times. They turned it over 18 times and gave up. And, of course, the Jazz converted 28 of the 18 points. Pelicans forced 20 turnovers from the Jazz but didn't make them pay. Only 17 points versus 28 points. Fast break points, all Utah. Utah dominated in the paint against them 70-54. Maybe if you employed the bigs, Jahlil Okafor is a 7-footer. Why every time in New Orleans that you have a chance to play a guy like Jahlil Okafor against Rudy Gobert, you choose to put Julius Randle in there? Even though Julius got the best of him the game before, you asking a lot of a 6'9" player to battle a guy that's 7'3" and the best shot blocker in the league. It's just stupid. I mean, but maybe we can get rid of Elvin Gentry and get another coach and get rid of his entire staff and get coaches that can teach a balanced attack, because this team's not responding to being consistent defensively. It's just horrific. Anyway, the Pelicans continue to move in the direction of which a lot of people expected them to do, which is out of the playoff chase. Now, before I finish my breakdown of the game, let's hear what Coach L. Gentry had to say about this one. Maybe Gentry can have some enlighten us on why this team stunk defensively as much as they did. Here's Coach Gentry.
I would like to ask questions. I'm prepared to answer, yes.
All right, Coach. Pulled within 4 in the third and then unable to, I guess, duplicate the same magic you guys have been using lately.
Yeah, I thought we turned the ball over too much, you know, and when we finished the game with less than 20 assists, then we hadn't had very good ball movement. You know, we ended up with 17 assists on 41 baskets. So that's telling me that there's not very much ball movement. And anytime we do that, I think we get ourselves in trouble. You know, but the turnovers is the one that help us. If you give up almost 30 points in a game off your turnovers, then that changes everything. That changes points in the paint, fast break points. It changes all of those things. And when you look at those kind of stats, and you can see where they dominated in those areas right there. That was our biggest problem tonight.
pick and roll again like they did in the past game. I think I noticed in both games you guys were dropping your bigs back. Was that part of the game plan?
Yeah, we were trying not to let their bigs roll behind us, and they did a much better job tonight than they did the other night. But we did a good job of defending that, and they just made another extended dribble tonight, which put a lot of pressure on our big guys to try to play two. And they're a good team, and they're going to make adjustments as we talked about. We tried to make adjustments, but our biggest problem was that it wasn't that we didn't play hard, it wasn't that we didn't compete, but we just turned the ball over too much, really.
Coach, what caused some of those turnovers, you think, tonight, Coach?
I thought that there's a little bit of carelessness. They're really good at getting their hands on balls, but I thought most of them were self-inflicted, because we didn't turn the ball over up there very much at all. And I think we had 8 turnovers for the game, if I'm not mistaken. But I thought we tried a couple of things that was high risk, and we could have done a better job of just playing good, simple basketball. That's when I think we're at our best, when we just got ball movement and people moving.
That's Coach Gentry giving his thoughts on the game and how the Pelicans continue to falter because they are a one-sided team. Totally inconsistent defensively, turning the ball over, unforced errors, missing free throws, not defending the paint properly, letting walk-up shots, allowing at least 12 wide-open three-point shots a game. Take your pick, man, why this team stinks so bad in terms of that and terribly inconsistent. I think it's philosophy. They have the talent to win. I think it's the coach. I really do think it's the coach. You have to look at the coach, if anything, because they have the talent. They can beat some of these teams some days and other days they can't. This is just as you beat this team a few nights ago, then you get them in a more difficult setting, then you get them at home and you can't do the same thing to them. Anyway, let's move on to the next game. It's against the Toronto Raptors coming up Friday night in the Smoothie King Center. The Raptors, one of the top teams in the East, one of the best teams in the East, probably the best team in the East, 46-19, 19-12 away versus the Pelicans of 30-37. This is going to be an interesting game because, of course, maybe Jahlil Okafor had a sprained ankle in the game that limited his effectiveness to be able to play. He played 5 minutes. He had to come out. So it's possible with that sprained ankle that he's not going to be a factor in this game. He's listed as questionable, so he might be out. Definitely Jrue Holiday is listed as out. Etwan Moore is also dealing with an injury as well. Fred VanVleet, who's the young backup point guard for the Toronto Raptors, he is out. But they'll still have to deal with the likes of Kawhi Leonard, who's coming into this game averaging 27 points a game flat, shooting 49% and 87% from the free throw line. Pretty good. Serge Ibaka is the top dude with the rebounds for the Raptors with 8. Kyle Lowry is the top assist man with 9, and he usually kills the Pelicans, man. I don't know, he just waits for them. Anthony Davis is the top dude scoring wise for the Pelicans, still averaging about 27 points a game and 12 rebounds. Jrue Holiday, of course, 7.7 on the assist, leads the team, and he is out. Now, averaging 114 points a game is Toronto, while stopping you to 109, shooting 47% from the field, 45 rebounds, 25 assists a game, 5 blocks, 8 steals, and losers of 2 in a row, 7-3 out of the last 10. New Orleans coming into this game averaging 116 points a game, which is phenomenal, but giving up 115 points, which explains to you why they are 30-37. 48% from the field. 47 rebounds a game, 27 assists a game, 5.5 blocks a game, 7.5 steals a game. 1 loss, of course, to Utah after going on a 3-game winning streak against Utah, Denver, and Phoenix. They are 5-5 the last 10 games. Raptors coming to this thing. Losers of 2 in a row, lost to Houston by 12, lost to Detroit prior to that in overtime, and beat Portland and Boston in back-to-back, as Boston's been struggling as well. So, what do you see in this one, Big Q? I think the Pelicans, depending on without Jrue Holiday, it's a tough task to ask them to beat, in my opinion, the best team in the East. So if it's going to be a win, it's going to be a close win. The Pelicans are gutty. I hate to bet against them, but I have to get this one to the Toronto Raptors. Just too much firepower and too much to ask Kendrick Williams to do against Kawhi Leonard. Big time. Anyway, that'll do it for the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. Thank you for joining us. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for most shows. And, of course, check the description section below for links for social media, donations, and everything. Thank you for joining us. Peace.
Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet needs it the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Go to EmbracePetInsurance.com. That's EmbracePetInsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelican. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings, and potential moves. Unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Valley. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registrars and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAStore.com has all the gear.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network.